this paper in front of you, and it's just a very basic diagram of the home buying process. And on the back, you'll find the home selling process. I've just found from my experience that a lot of people really don't understand the whole process, just how it works, and they always say, well, what's next? Especially first-time home buyers, but even people that have bought and sold homes in the past, because some things have changed also. So I'm going to do the home buying process first, get approved by a lender. This is important, a lender like Shaw. This is important because when you find the house you like, you want to make an offer right away, and you need the letter from the lender that said you're pre-approved, especially in this competitive market. Like last week, I told you I had 6 offers for this property, and that's kind of what it's like out there. And so you have to be really prepared. And another thing you want to be approved for is you want to know what price range you're looking at, because you don't want to look at $1 million house when you can only afford a $500,000 house. I mean, it sounds logical, but sometimes it works just the opposite. You think you can only afford here, and you can really afford here. So that's a big issue with getting pre-approved. You really need that. Then you get to have the fun. You get to start looking for your house. You contact your realtor. You know what price you're at. You're all ready to go. And when you find that house, you can make the offer. And then you might be in a situation where, like I said, there's more than one offer on the place you're making. So you might get a counter offer, and then you might have to come up. So it's like I think I like this whole real estate thing. It's a lot like gambling. Everybody is bluffing on what offer they got. You don't know sometimes, they won't tell you. And it really is, it's like a poker game, kind of. There's a lot of strategy involved, a lot of negotiating involved, and I like poker, so I guess that's why I like real estate. Anyway, then you finally get your offer accepted. Hallelujah. Then you get to go into escrow. And escrow is a third-party identity that works between the agents in the middle to make everything come together so you can close escrow. Within 3 days, you need to put in a deposit. Normally, it's 3% of the sale price. It can be less, it can be more. It's whatever you want. Sometimes when the seller is looking at offers, if they have a high down payment or a higher deposit, your offer is going to look more attractive to them. So it might help you and you put that in your offer. When you're making an offer, you put how much you're going to put down in those areas. Then next, the seller is obligated to give you all the information about the property, everything they know about the property. And you too have to disclose anything you know about the property that they might have told you. So be careful what you tell your agent, because they're obligated also to tell everything wrong with the property. And you think it's like simple. You have an agent on each side, you have escrow. But in reality, like I'm the agent on the selling side. I have 2 TCs. That's a transaction coordinator that takes care of the paperwork, and she has an assistant. Then this person, the escrow, they have an assistant, so you can see all these people involved. Then on the buyer's side, the agent, it's a dual agent. She's working with another girl, so there's 2 agents. So they have a TC, and they have an assistant, and then the escrow on their side. So it's like there's so many people involved. You think it's just, we get blamed for everything that goes wrong, but we're always relying on somebody else. And that's not even counting the loan part, the mortgage lender that has to coordinate all this, and then they're in underwriting, and then they ask for all this other stuff. So it takes a whole tribe to make a transaction really work. After you get all the disclosures and you do your inspections and you find anything wrong with the property, then you ask for, then it comes to the negotiation. Like if something you want them to fix before you buy, that's all negotiable between the 2 agents. And then as it happens, as you get what you want or don't, you have a choice to get out of escrow, say I don't want it, or you go forward and you remove your contingencies. Some contingencies are just inspection contingencies, like you have so many days to get that done and get it in, and then you're like, that's it. And then the next one is your appraisal contingency, which I just had the appraisal on this property yesterday. So we're waiting like this, to see, make sure it appraises, because if it doesn't, then there could be another issue. Then after the appraisal, and it comes in at the right price, your sale price, then you go into underwriting and your loan continues, and you have a few more days to remove your loan contingency. Now, by that time, you're pretty well on your way to closing. But there's a CD that the closing disclosures that the lender has to give you 3 days to look at, so you know what you're doing and you don't make any mistakes and everything's correct. It's a breakdown of every charge you're getting charged. Then you're signing the loan documents, and then you go back and you look at the property. Is it still the same way it was when I saw it, or is there anything wrong? Is there a big hole somewhere that I didn't know about? And so that's the last thing before you do closing. Then you do closing, and then hallelujah, that takes about 30 to 45 days usually, and so that's the whole process. So was that helpful at all? Did anybody learn anything that they didn't know before, maybe? How much time do I have? Okay, the selling process. Okay, it says list your property. Well, before you list your property, you need to talk to your agent and see what you need to do to the house to get the best price, and also look at the comps and what's so you have an idea. Don't look at Zillow. Talk to your agent, because Zillow that's not necessarily correct information. But I suggest you talk to an agent, someone you trust and know and like. You talk to your agent, and they go over these things with you, telling you exactly what you need to do to get the price, and you decide your time, what your plan is. What is your time? How long do you want to wait to sell, and that kind of thing. I want to say too that after you list your property, then the agent takes over when doing the marketing. We do all the marketing. Staging is usually paid for by the seller, but the professional pictures that we have taken and the all the marketing, whatever you choose to do, is through the agent, the buyer agent. I mean, the agent that you're representing, the seller agent. Yeah, they pay for all that. So a lot of people don't know that. I heard somebody say, oh, their agent paid for this and paid for that, and I'm like, yeah, that's what they're supposed to do, but people don't know. So you gotta be sure and mention that this is what I'm doing, because you need to know that we're putting out ourselves before we even get paid. Let's see. Then we have, you can have a public open house. Usually before we put it out there, or right after we put it out there, we have what they call a broker's open. And that's where agents that have buyers or not come and look at the property to see if they could recommend or bring their buyers back at another time. So that's important to just spread the word, besides people want to see what they're, rather than just the pictures and on the MLS. Then the weekend you usually have a public open, which you invite everybody to. Then when you get your offer, you accept an offer, you go through all that stuff of getting your offer accepted, then you open escrow. And then it's about the same process as with what I just said with the buyer side. And what else was I going to say? Do you think I'm leaving out? I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, you go through the same thing. You go through the appraisal and the property inspection and all that. Is that it? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not really good at this, but I hope it helped explain the process to you, and if you need any help, that's what I try to do. I'm better on a one-to-one than I am in a